Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
I think the uniqueness of the Reggae Girls is they embody the national motto of Jamaica, which is out of many one people. So when you look at the entirety of the Jamaica squad, you have dark-skinned girls, mixed-race girls, girls who have black and Asian in them. You also have the homegrown players, so like your Bunny Shaw, your Konya Plummer, your Den Blackwood. So what that means in terms of from a grassroots perspective is girls who are born in Jamaica can look at a Bunny Shaw and hear that authentic accent and say, you know, if Bunny can make it, then so can I. Once you hear that authenticity, that raw Jamaican accent, they should be able to look at a Bunny Shaw who's now a captain to say, if Bunny can do it, especially if you come from the same community, the same parish as her, if she can do it, then so can we.
I want to give a big bless up to the Reggae girls out there. They ain't believe in us. John did. Reggae girls, keep winning, keep inspiring. I know you're going to be great out there, World Cup. Sadella Marley, number love. Bless up from DJ Khaled.
And I'm represent for the Reggae girls. You know what I mean? Big up on yourself every time. Especially if you're qualifying for the World Cup back to back. You know what I mean? Sadella, big up yourself. One love every time. You know the thing go. Blessing off a flow like a river. Blessing off a flow like a river. What the Reggae girls do? Left them name night earth like a queen. Me have to big up the top soccer team. You know Massacre represent. Jamaica supporting it every time. You know the thing go.
Hello, I'm Hansi Parchment. You're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.
I feel like I'm from UK, you know.
See the moonlights on the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Talawa TV is in the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Got a corner on the telephone. Yeah, this is the Ocean of the Messenger, and you're watching Talawa TV with the host and best Davis. Take it away.
My Talowers, how are you all? Good afternoon, good evening, possibly good morning. All depends on where you are in the world. Welcome back to another live stream. Happy Friday, guys. Hope your Friday is treating you well. Of course, if you're making your way home from work or whatever personal activity, I do hope that you're safe and unharmed, because making it through your doors is a underrated blessing. I'm actually just taking a quick little glance at my comment section. Big up the guys there in the comment section. Hi, hello to yourself, Conrad Smith. I hope you're in good health. Warren Webster, it's been a while. Blessings to you as well. I hope that you guys there in the comment section are in good health. And also to those of you who are silently watching, I hope that you're in good health as well. I'm going to be making tonight's live stream short because there isn't really much to say. I'm going to manage to sit down and dissect last night's game against Nicaragua. For those of you who are unaware, we beat Nicaragua 2-0. And I think there's far more positives than negatives for once. I think maybe there's probably just one negative of mine anyways. But it'd be interesting to hear what you guys have to say there in the comment section. Warren Webster says Thanksgiving weekend in Canada. Well, happy Thanksgiving to those of you celebrating the, what do you want to call that? Is that a special occasion for you guys? I've never celebrated Thanksgiving, so I'm not really sure what it's all about. But I do hope that you enjoy the occasion with your family or with your loved ones, or maybe it's just you sitting back and just enjoying your own company. Either way, I hope that it goes well. Do try to put your feet up, enjoy if you can. Every opportunity that comes where you're able to unwind and free your mind, I will definitely encourage you guys to do that. Okay. So yeah, as I said, be interesting to hear what you guys think of the game last night. I'm going to be giving you guys my opinion. Going to be doing a quick little review, touching on Nicaragua because they were the hosts, so it makes sense to touch on Nicaragua before looking at Jamaica and looking at a few of the standout individual performances there where the Reggae Boyz are concerned. If at any point you fancy jumping on the stream, I have gone ahead and hit the comment section with a link to the stream. I've been cautious last couple of live streams. I'm pretty sure you guys know that I haven't dropped it there in the comment section unless I'm asked to do so, because I am trying to just maintain some level of control on the platform. Again, I will reiterate, if you are joining me on live stream, please do keep it respectful. Please do make your comments appropriate, whether it's aimed at myself, potential co-hosts or panelists, or to the guys in the comment section. The message, I think, has been clear since I've been doing live streams. I feel like every now and then I need to reiterate what's already been stated multiple times. So again, if you are going to be joining me, please do keep it professional. That is my only rule. Do keep it professional. Okay. All right. So where are we going to start? I guess I'm going to keep it the same as the last couple of live streams because, you know, human beings come first, as I've always said to you guys. So that just means that we're going to segue just for maybe 60 seconds or a little tad bit more, just segue and look at what's been happening around the world as it relates to the topic of conversation there where Hurricane Milton is concerned. And this is a very short report there for you guys on screen. You should be able to see that one on screen in front of you. If you can't read it, don't worry. I do have you covered to make it a little bit easier, a little bit pleasing on your eye. Let me go ahead and remove my banner so you can see everything quite clearly for you, clearly there on the screen. And I'm just going to go ahead and just give you guys the summary of the report, some live reporting there on screen for you guys. Okay, so it does say here, at least 16 people have died after Hurricane Milton passed through Florida, though the total number of deaths could rise as rescue workers make their way through flooded waters and debris. More than 2 million homes and businesses are without power, and thousands of people have been rescued from flooded areas. An emergency management official in Florida tells residents to keep clear of teams operating in the area, saying, "We don't need you out there sightseeing." US President Joe Biden will travel to Florida on Sunday to visit areas impacted by Hurricane Milton, the White House says. And finally, there in that summary, that brief summary there, it does also say some Florida residents forced to abandon their homes have returned to find them destroyed or badly flooded. And I already shared some photos there of the devastation, the impact of the devastation from Hurricane Milton. So I will echo what I've already stated on previous live streams, that I do hope that everyone in Florida, whether you're a supporter of the channel or a non-supporter, I do hope that you are in good health. And if there has been any devastation, I hope that the devastation is repairable and it's nothing long-term, long-lasting. Okay, so definitely keeping you guys still in my thoughts and prayers, and I hope that things do change for the better in the next coming days, weeks, and also possibly, if worst case scenario, months as well. So Warren Webster there in the comment section says, in a long weekend when you give thanks for productive year, farmers, and in modern times you're well, Warren, you very rarely stop by these days. So I take it that you are hard at work as the winter months steadily approaches us. I think for me, I'm already into winter. Outside is feeling a little bit too nippy for my liking. So that means the heater is on full blast because it definitely feels like winter is finally here. So how am I going to start this? Shall we go ahead and take a look at our group? I guess we could go ahead and take a look at where we stand there, where as it relates to the current group standing. You guys should already be aware of this. Let me go ahead and change over from Hurricane Milton. If you're just tuning in, good evening to yourself. I hope that you are in good health. So let's just go ahead there and look at some more standing as it relates to our group, League A, Group B. Some pleasing reading there. If you support the black, gold, and green, where Jamaica are concerned, you can see there 3 matches played, 2 wins, 1 draw, with a points tally of 7. We are closely followed by Honduras. They also have played 3 games. Everyone in our group so far, guys, have played 3 games for a context, okay? As I said, closely followed there by Honduras. They have 6 points in their back pocket. Last night's opponents, Nicaragua, currently have 4 points, and the rest of the table is made up of Cuba, sitting with 3 points. Trinidad and Tobago, they currently have 2 points in their back pocket, and sitting at the bottom of the pile is French Guiana. That is how the team there is looking. I guess I could also touch on the let's see if I can get some timeline stuff up from yesterday's game. Hopefully it does make sense with my review. You guys are quite silent there in the comment section. You know, I don't like my comment section to be silent. So do get active. If you are new to the channel, do go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you haven't hit the like button, what exactly are you waiting on? It does not cost you a penny. Do you go ahead and kindly hit that like button for me, okay? Please and thank you. Now you should be able to see the highlights. I'm not going to click the highlights. There's a match recap highlights, which is a little over 3 minutes, but obviously for copyright violation purposes, I cannot hit that play button there for you. So I do apologize. You might have to do this one a little in your own time after I close off on my live stream. You might want to go back and give it a watch. So just glossing over again, yesterday's game ended 2-0 Jamaica, quite close to my prediction. I predicted 2-1, but am I going to complain that I was wrong? Absolutely not. I hate being wrong each and every day of the week if it means that my team comes out triumphant. I have no qualms in that regard. So there you go. In terms of the goal scorers, I should say there. We're going to talk about the goals. So, you know, that the own goal and Mario Williams's goal in the 69th minute. It's still making me laugh. And that is for obvious reason. For those of you who watch the game, you can also take a quick little glance at the number of yellow cards there on screen. In terms of a couple of our lads there picked up yellow cards: Bobby Reed, Joel Latibode, and Damian Lowe. And in terms of the host, our opponents last night, Nicaragua, they managed to accumulate 1 yellow card there in the starting 11, which I am still quite perplexed about. And we're going to talk about that with regards to the performance, to put it politely, on show by last night's host. So yes, just summarizing some of the stuff that you guys are looking at on your screen. I guess I should just go ahead and remove the banner because that's probably irritating some of you. So there you go. You can look at the graphics there clearer. I could go ahead and also touch on the stats. I think I might just leave it here temporarily whilst I just go ahead and get my opinion out the way as it relates to the host. When it comes to looking at these stats, and I have double checked a couple of these stats, and they are either spot on or near accurate. But for context, when it does come to stats generated by namely Google, I do sometimes take it with a pinch of salt. But I think based on what Concacaf also produced, I do believe this is as accurate as it could be, taking into consideration everything that we saw on display in last night's occasion. Does say a lot. You can see it. I don't know if you guys want me to read it out for you, but I guess I could go ahead and do so. In terms of shots, you have Nicaragua with 7. Nicaragua with 17, Jamaica with 7. Shots on target, Jamaica 3, Nicaragua 6. Possession, you have the host with 55 possession, Jamaica with 45. Passes, you have Nicaragua 399, Jamaica with 350. Pass accuracy, 81 to the host and 80 to Jamaica. Fouls, 16 fouls to the host and 13 to Jamaica. Don't ask me why they did not manage to accumulate more yellow cards. In terms of yellow cards, as I've already shown you guys on screen, the host picked up 1 yellow card, whereas Jamaica picked up 3 red cards. That is 0 apiece. Offside, Nicaragua had 2 offside calls, whereas Jamaica had 3. Corners, 7. Jamaica has 1. I can't believe we only had 1 corner. Is that correct, guys? Feels like 1 doesn't seem like it's accurate, but do jog my memory there, guys. Do go ahead and jog my memory. And I'm going to be diving into just go ahead, I guess, and talk about last night. But before I get into the midst of things, so adding to what I've already stated with you guys, with this result, if you guys aren't already aware, basically what that meant is that Nicaragua's 5-game unbeaten run came to an end. And there were so many positives there to talk about. I think one of the the most enjoyable positives in terms of light laughter was Greg Lee visibly annoyed at being robbed of a goal. And I think, in fairness to Romario Williams, that is naturally a striker's instinct, you know, and I love to see it. I think on a different day, on a different occasion, if we needed a goal for an equalizer or a winner, and let's say VAR wasn't available as it was last night, and Romario didn't, you know, tap into that natural striker's instinct, people probably would have put his head on a chopping stick, to be honest with you, or a chopping board. So I like that from Romario Williams. Again, I think that's just a natural reaction, given that he is a striker. He's going to latch onto it. I don't think there's anything sinister there. I don't think he was trying to take anything away from Greg Lee, although Greg Lee looked a little bit pissed. But I'm pretty sure, you know, it's almost 24 hours since that game came, and 90 minutes wrapped up. So I'm sure he's over that. I'm pretty sure by the time they made it in the locker room, that's done and dusted. It's behind them. Hopefully next time Greg Lee will get a goal or two to his name. But I think, as I said, you know, in terms of light laughter, I did enjoy that. It was funny for me as a supporter, as one of the 12th man. I'm still not funny for Greg Lee, but as I said, it's not that big of a deal. These are the things that we want to see. We want to see players putting their bodies on the line. We want to see players not scruffing their chances, as we're so used to seeing when it comes to the Reggae Boyz. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to get too carried away, even with all the positives that we have seen so far, which I'm going to touch on as it relates to our team. But let's focus on Nicaragua for a second. I guess I could just let's just keep it on the stats for a short while. I don't know about you guys, but there's certain elements to their game that really reminded me of, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to say it with caution, right? Caution. I'm saying that at periods during that game, Nicaragua reminded me of the old Reggae Boyz. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot the messenger. I do say I'm saying it with caution, right? They reminded me of the old Reggae Boyz. And one of the things that stood out to me, aside from, before I get into the football itself, was couple things that we've been kind of pissed about as the 12th man when it comes to getting onto the backs of our federation. You know, I noticed that their players didn't have their names on the back of their jerseys. And, you know, yes, I'm not from Nicaragua. I don't support the blue and whites, but these are a couple of the things that we used to complain about back in, I can't even say back in the day, but not that long ago. We used to be onto the backs of the Jamaica Football Federation and asking, you know, to keep it professional. Let's look like a professional side. And I think it's when you do the basics like that, you get people to buy into whatever it is you're trying to sell. For me, even if they had a flamboyant performance and some players stood out to me, I really wouldn't know who they are. I'm not going to go and deep dive and search for who number 5 is and so on. So little stuff like that again reminded me of the old Reggae Boyz. In terms of one of the positive that stood out for me from the jump was their stadium, and it was just right in my face. I don't know what you guys made. By the way, I can't see the comment section for the time being, so if you guys are dropping stuff in the comment section, I can't see it because I'm looking at the main screen, which I guess I could probably come off it in a couple seconds. But let me get this bit out the way. Again, back to their stadium. It caught my eye throughout the whole game. I don't know the capacity of that stadium, but it looked near capacity, right? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section. But that stadium, to me, it reminded me of like your old-fashioned stadiums. Like it reminded me of like a Highbury or a Craven Cottage. And it looks like the way it's been built, it looks like you're quite close to the action in terms of the the 12 man. So I was in complete awe of the makeup, the build of that stadium. It looked quite beautiful. I don't know if any Reggae Boys supporters were in the stadium last night. If you were, let me know how it felt being there. It does look like a beautiful stadium. And big ups to the Nicaraguans. Is that their name, guys, or am I just like making up names and attaching it to them? My apologies if that's not what you guys are called. But big up to those guys and their 12 man. I think they did their job in terms of showing up in their numbers. I'm not going to say I was jealous, but I admired their effort. I admired their show of support back in their team there. I could only dream that in the future, hopefully in the near future, the national stadium looks similar to that or is looking better to that in the sense that we go on to selling out the national stadium both for the men's and the women's team. Hopefully that's something that we could look to achieve in the near future. But yeah, it was wonderful to see their fans there out in their numbers. Some of the things that I noticed from them which made me smile, and by the time as the game progressed slowly towards the first quarter of the game, because if you watch my live watch alongs, you guys know that I usually try to figure out how the game's going to be played within the first quarter of the match. And one thing I picked up on with Nicaragua is that from the jump, from early doors, there was a lot of mind games being played. I think you guys know how I feel about mind games, particularly when you're leaning, or one can assume that you're leaning towards the referee. For me, naturally, when I see these type of mind games, it to me, in the way that it's being done, again, when for me, it looks as if they were trying to influence the referee. Now, I can't speak for Nicaragua. I can't speak for their head coach. I don't know what the message was, but it looked at times, at periods during that game, for first 45 and second 45, that they were trying to influence the referee's decision. And I think for me, when a team does that, especially so early into the game, like, to me, that's a sign of weakness, And when I saw that, I said to myself, these guys didn't come to defend their 5-game unbeaten streak. Like, surely not, because the little mind games that they were playing, falling like dominoes, like, suffer than a baby's bottom. To me, that just screamed desperation. They were trying to generate some cute fouls, and at one point it almost went according to plan, particularly in the early stages of the first 45. They drew a foul. I can't remember on which one of our players gave them the foul, but they drew a foul in the early stages of the first 45, and that basically almost led to a goal. It was on target. It was from a free kick headed towards our goal, but Blakey did his job. We are going to be talking about Mr. Captain Fantastic, Andre Blake. And again, as I approach the match, approach the first quarter of an hour and a little bit overstretching into that 20 plus minute, I kind of said to myself, like, yeah, they are no match for us. There's too much mind games going on. And I think they got their calculation wrong. They whatever measurement they took off us, they need to bring that one back to the drawing board, because they underestimated us and they got their measurements far wrong. I think they probably failed to, and it's probably a good thing now that we do have a new gaffer in charge, is that there's only so much that you can read upon with the Reggae Boys in terms of their style of play, how they're going to approach each game, and so on and so on. The game plan will probably change game by game, and I think for this particular match, definitely I could say that there's evidence that is the case. When you take into consideration players' availability, the environment in terms of the playing surface, and so on. I think this is a game that was tailor-made for a particular set of tactics from the gaffer Steve McLaren. But again, going back to Nicaragua, inside the first quarter of an hour, again, as I said, I kind of slowly realized that, yeah, these guys are no match for us. I think what they should have done is they should have saved these. We know the Reggae Boys, and I'm not going to expose them to anything, but the old Reggae Boys, I should say, and I do want to say the old Reggae Boys, please don't prove me wrong. The old Reggae Boys, they should have saved the tactics on the mind games for the latter stages of the match. I think unfortunately for them, they showed their trump card a little too soon in the game. And yes, there was a lot of physical encounter, but in the end, you had nothing to show for it. I think what they wanted to do was, as we've seen with previous performances before Steve McLaren came into the driving seat, the boys aren't perfect. We've seen that how they react to certain physicality and to certain treatment. And I think they wanted to tap into that. I think they wanted the Reggae Boyz there to lose their composure. And you can see that, as I said, at different periods of the game, even on the stroke of 45, the end of the first 45, there's a couple pushing and shoving going on. And I was like, well, there's really no need for that. But I guess there would have been when you find yourself going a goal down. And we are going to be talking about the opening goal as well as the second goal, which I've already brushed upon. But yeah, closing off the first 45 with some pushing and shoving, for me, again, that did spell trouble for them. As I've already said, that pretty much told me that you are no match for us. You can't keep up. Let me see what you guys are saying there in the comment section before I continue with my review of last night's game, where I will be turning my focus to the Reggae Boyz. Warren says Bobby Reed, Pinnock, Lowe, and McGee was excellent, but but the man of the match was Captain Blake. I mean, I think we're all singing from the same hymn sheet here. I've got a couple guys that I will say. First, you know what? I'm gonna save that for end. I'm gonna save that for a little while. All right, I'm gonna save that for a little while. Paul Watkins, big up yourself. I hope you are well. Father Warren, big up. Warren Webster here says that the referee was terrible. Brown Man Security 33 Good Sound says at the one corner. I still can't believe we only had one corner. I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Warren says it was offside. Good win, but we need better players. Though I'm going to get onto all of that. It was offside. If VAR, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If VAR wasn't in play, if VAR was in play, then we would have been it would have been ruled offside. But thankfully, that's not the case. It's not very often where VAR, or the lack of VAR, I should say, works in our favor. So we just gotta be happy with it. Good day to yourself, Owen. I hope you're in good health. Crystal, you don't support Chelsea. What would give you the impression that I support Chelsea? It was packed. Yeah, exactly. I'd like to know the capacity of that stadium. Again, don't envy them. I'm not jealous of them or anything, but I would love to see us mirror that. Owen says, like you are at a corner league game. Exactly. Nostalgia. I really enjoyed it. Big up yourself, Wayne Evans. Good evening to yourself. I hope you are in good health. I'm just skipping through the comment section there because I don't want to forget anyone in the comment section before I turn my attention there to what I want to talk about in terms of the Reggae Boyz there. The Nicaraguans lack quality, but they play good together. Shame they couldn't play good together last night. Thank God it's Friday. The Queen is live. Love your contents. Crystal's Palace. Keep up the quality work. Big up Talawa TV. Big up yourself as well, Renado. Knight Rider. Are you going to talk about Man City versus Barcelona? Maybe. I don't like to overlap the contents there as it relates to international football. Maybe if I have enough time, I might touch on it. I know the reason why you want me to touch on it already. So I might. So I'm going to be going back and talking about Jamaica now. I'm going to leave that graphic there in front of you guys where you can look at the stats. If you can't read the stats for yourself because the print is quite fine, do let me know and I will go ahead and give it a spin for you, give it a little read. So I'm not really sure where to start as it relates to Jamaica. I think we've already touched on a couple of the standout performances there where our boys are concerned, but I think maybe I should potentially look at the team performance. It's not very often, if memory serves me well, where I can pull out team performance as a highlight where the Reggae Boyz are concerned. But I think on this occasion, there was plenty of that on show. It appears during the game, especially during the first 45, we saw a few glimpses of flair, and I thought that was quite intriguing, because usually when you have these players and they're showcasing their flair in their games. No, it's not about showboating. I think in that particular instance, it tells me that one is comfortable, one is confident, and that's what you want to see. I think I speak for a lot of us, maybe not the majority, but possibly the minority, that we do want to see some flamboyant football from Jamaica. You know, given the fact that they do have reggae in their name, we do want to see them almost dancing with the ball. We didn't see much of that last night, but as I said, we did see a few flares here and there. I'm quite pleased to see something that we're not too privy to seeing when it comes to our boys. And that is in the sense of, as I'm talking about the team performance, the back line. I think the back line was switched on last night. There was one particular moment as it relates to Damian Lowe. And I think this might have happened in the first 45. Do correct me if I'm wrong, where he came across with a diagonal interception, and I thought, okay, yes, he handled that quite well. Played with a high line, but even so, we're playing a high line. There was periods, and I was quite amazed that they were doing this, and I think this illustrates the fitness of the squad. I can't remember another match. You guys will probably have to point me in the right direction where this team, and I was carefully watching them, as were most of you guys there, but they were running for pretty much 90 plus minutes, and sprinting forwards in transition, not getting excessively caught out in terms of being out of position and so on. And I think it goes without saying that this is clearly a fit squad. No disrespect to the current crop of players, but it's a fit squad that isn't fine-tuned in the sense that they are an unsettled squad, and that's to no fault of their own. Some chop and change early days for Steve McLaren, but I quite like the fact that these guys did not stop running. They were just running for the whole entire 90 plus minutes, and that is something that we have used to criticize them in recent years. It's been something that they've been extremely guilty of, not pressuring the opponents, not running, just looking like they're just disinterested. But this time round, there was plenty of running, and why not eat up all that ground provision? You better put that to good use, because we know nowadays ground provision, if you're in the diaspora, or maybe in Jamaica as well, that costs you an arm and a leg. So do put that good nutrition intake there to good use. So it was good to see what the guys were doing last night in terms of their approach to games, playing it out from the back at times. And what I really liked about last night's performances was the fact that there was no excuses there due to circumstances. I think there was a couple, not necessarily worries, but there was a couple, what if, in terms of, how will the boys play given the playing surface? I'm sure at one point, Damian Lowe went to kick the ball, and I'm sure I saw something like I don't know if rubble is the right word, which I think indicate black rubble, which I think indicates that it was AstroTurf. You guys correct me there in the comment section if I got that wrong. But in the past, we would have used situations like these as an excuse as to why we drew a match, or as to why we got pegged back, which would then subsequently see us lose a game. We would have used little opportunities like that to kind of like hide our shame. But on this occasion, that wasn't the case, and long may it continue. And because of that high line at times, and the constant running, not allowing the opponents to settle, that evidently paid dividends. I like what I saw from them. I think in the grand scheme of things, what we saw from them is just doing the basics, which they've been so guilty of doing. I did say in my preview of the game that, given the circumstances, with an emphasis on the playing surface, that I think this is a game where we don't necessarily need to play hard, or I wasn't expecting the guys to play hard, but I was expecting them to play smart, and I think that's what they did on last night's occasion. Didn't overcommit. They didn't need to. Wasn't overly aggressive. They didn't need to be, but I think for the most part they definitely played smart, and in doing so, I think, naturally, I'm sure a couple of them would have walked away with a couple bruises, a couple knocks here and there. As I've already said, it's been a while since I can remember. I don't even know. I would have to do some deep thinking where I could see our men's team playing smart and not hard, looking organized. And it is so funny. I remember at one point looking back at the game and I was saying to myself, wow, they actually look like a football team. And it was just so funny. It just goes to show how deprived we've been as football fans, that I am sat here giving my team credit because they look like a football team. There was elements of maturity there, and you can say definitely, maybe, I don't know if maturity in its abundance, but the fact that we were staying in the game, we weren't losing our heads when it was clear as daylight that we were playing an unfair advantage. Probably for the lads, it probably felt like they were playing against 11 against 12, for obvious reasons. But again, going back to the movement there from the outfield players, evenly committing bodies forward. I remember there was a run. Don't ask me if it was the first or second 45, but there was a run there from Damian Lowe. He sprinted forward. I'm sure he made his way into the opponent's box, and I can't remember what happened after that, but I noticed that the back line stayed together and basically just did their job for the Hungarian attack. So I did like what I saw there from the Reggae Boyz, and maybe playing on AstroTurf is probably the way forward, because the one thing that I was worried about, seems like it was no big deal from them. Definitely some leadership on display from a number of players, and this again is probably a first time. Memory serve me, was probably a first time where I can say, fair play. There's more than one leaders on the field of play. Naturally, the instant leader is the captain, Andre Blake, with the skip up, with the armband. And you're probably thinking next in line is probably going to be Damian Lowe as the vice captain. But to be fair to the lads, there was leadership all across the board last night. From up top, you had Damari Gray. You also had Bobby Reed there in the center drifting, and you had the line of defense, the lads at the back, and also our captain, our skipper, Andre Blake. A good return for McGee. Obviously, he was involved in the build up to the opening goal. So McGee, Bobby Reed, and I think it was a pass that was clearly aiming for Damari Gray, but to Nicaragua's detriment, that one ended up being a own goal. I am not complaining at all, but I think that just goes to show that echoes just how controlled we were inside that first 45, or just overall, really, if we want to be honest with ourselves, controlled, smart, and some slick performances here and there. The headed clearance there from Damian Lowe, this must have been possibly late inside the first 45. I thought that was just applaudable. But touching on the potentially one negative, guess there's not really much that I need to say with regards to this. And it's clearly some work still needs to be done. I think namely in our midfield. I don't know what it is, but I feel like something is missing. I feel like when I try to figure out what's missing, like the one word that keeps ringing in my head is presence. No disrespect to the lads that's anchoring the midfield at the moment, but I just feel like we don't have that midfield presence. Let me know what you guys have to say with regards to what I've said so far, be it for Nicaragua or for Jamaica. Let me know in the comment section. I will turn my attention to the comment section in a short while. And again, similar to Nicaragua, in terms of the quarter of an hour of this particular game there, let's say early doors, I think, in fairness, that we should have at least been on a yellow card apiece. Instead, I think the first yellow card was presented to Joel Latibode. He picked up an early yellow, but I definitely think that the step or the trotting on the ankle or the foot of Damian Lowe. I'm not really sure, and that was quite within the close proximity to Joel Latibode being rewarded with a yellow card. So I'm not really sure how he managed to get away with that. I didn't see a yellow card being handed to Nicaragua for that particular challenge on Damian Lowe. I might have to go back and look at the timeline and see if he was awarded a yellow card, but I don't think he was awarded. And then, funnily, oddly enough, seconds later, there was an immediate call for a foul with Bobby Reed in question. So Nicaragua being rewarded with a foul. But when it was our players, it was like the ref had no clue what was going on. So there was some questionable match officiating on display last night, especially when you look at the first quarter, an hour of the game. And also, even when you're touching on that 20 plus minute, there's some questionable decision makings there, here and there, from the referee. Bit of a sad display from him, to be honest with you. Just do your job next time. There's no need for favoritism, because clearly he had a favorite for last night's match. Also, no foul on Damari Gray. That looked like it was near the groin area. I don't know, that was like in the 20 plus minutes. It looked like it was high near the groin area. Obviously, Damari Gray went down and there was no card produced. And then, subsequently another foul on a Damari Gray, which at that point, I believe it led to a free kick. But there was some odd display of refereeing there from last night's official. Couple players that stood out for me. I think this man definitely deserved his flowers. Bobby Reed definitely deserved his praise for his performance last night. I noticed before the ball even kicked that he was displaying this leadership ability. If you think back to the build up to the game, you could see that he was in the huddle. The first huddle, there was two huddles. The first huddle, he was the one that was leading the team talk. I think at that time, the captains, including Andre Gray, was off taking his photos with the match official. After, when he came across and he joined up with the lads, they then did a second huddle where the skipper Andre Gray was leading the team talk. But that told me that Bobby Reed was in the right frame of mind. It's good that he doesn't need the captain's armband to be a leader. Long may it continue. That's what we want to see. The more mature and experienced boys standing up and being vocal, and obviously in doing so, naturally the younger lads will learn from them as well. Bobby Reed's free kick, oh my god, if that had gone in the back of the net, that was quite early in the first 45. I think that was under 10 minutes of game time, where I think it was both Bobby Reed and Tyrick McGee standing over the free kick, and that went straight on target. Bit of a shame that it didn't go in the back of the net, but that one went straight on target. And Bobby Reed as well, unbelievable level of fitness for a man he's been getting, for context, which is why I'm saying he deserves his credit. For context, this man made a summer move from Fulham to the Foxes being Leicester City. And you guys already know, based off my weekly roundup show, that he's been getting some feeble number of minutes under his belt with the Foxes. So, but it was wonderful to see that, despite playing a limited number of time with his club, Leicester City, he was still up for it. He's clearly fit as a fiddle match wise as well, and he really played his heart out. I think that's one thing that we could always credit Bobby Reed for, is his commitment. His commitment definitely can't be questioned. Ever the professional, long may it continue. Another player that stood out for me, you would have seen him in the thumbnail. He can't be ignored. Mr. Andre Blake, our captain, our leader, and boy did he lead last night. I'm not really sure what to say about Andre Blake. He was magnificent. He was outstanding. I don't know who was awarded the player of the match, but if he wasn't awarded the player of the match, I'm leaning towards Andre Blake being given the player of the match. I sat down all day today and I'm thinking, like, what do I actually say about him? Because it was just an outstanding performance, Airborne Blake, so many fine saves on last night's game. Fingertip save which went basically over the bar. I think that was just approaching the first half an hour, and that was an impeccable save. You could see, I'm not a goalkeeper, but you can see that shot there from the Nicaraguan had a lot of sting in it. That was a stinging shot, and Blake being Blake with his experience, he tipped that one over the bar, and he followed that one up within minutes with another tough save. Again, on the stroke of halftime, similar to what I said with regards to Damian Lowe with his headed clearance. He put in on the stroke of halftime, that is Andre Blake, he put in another fine save. And I think that particular save there, just on the stroke of halftime, is quite fitting for a lively first 45. So Andre Blake, I'm struggling to find the right words to summarize him. He gave us everything in his arsenal, or a few things in his arsenal last night. He reminded us why he is called Brick Wall. He reminded us why he's the best in the region. I'll be up for debating with on what I've just said with regards to Andre Blake being the best in the region. I'll be up for a debate with anyone, because I think that he is, show me a keeper in the region that's better than him. I don't think there is anyone. He's been called the brick wall for a reason. He gave us a couple glimpses of what he's capable of, and we saw it. We saw a few of those magnificent saves, fingertip saves, low block, double save. I think the last save from the double save was my favorite of last night's game. I thought that was just wonderful stuff. And I think, as they say, mainly when you're dealing with club football, they say defense wins you titles, defense wins you league. I think this is I'm not saying we're going to be sailing off into the sunset and winning the Nations League and winning subsequent trophies, but I will say, based on observation and analysis of previous game, I think, and I do say this cautiously, that this is an indication of what's to come. I think, as I've always said on other live stream, your keeper is as good as your defense. I think when you look at when you look at Andre Blake now, and you look at previous games, not that too far back in the past, I think now he's looking a bit more relaxed. He's looking a bit more comfortable. I've sat and I've watched him be extremely vocal in other games, but in particularly last night, I don't think he needed to be as vocal. I think everyone was singing from the same hymn sheet. Everyone was reading from the same book, same chapter, same page, everything. And, I think, again, credit to the outfield players. If you have a strong line of defense, it's only going to benefit the person between the sticks. So I thought, a fabulous performance from the boys last night. Long may it continue. Can't really fault them. My only issue has nothing to do with the team per se. I guess that's down to scouting and recruiting. But hopefully we can continue to make these improvements and continue to take these positive strides, because last night, for the first time, I can't remember when I last looked at a Reggae Boyz team and say, oh, you actually look like a team. So, credits to the lads, credit to the backroom staff, credits to the gaffer as well, Steve McLaren. Long may it continue. We managed to clip the wings of Nicaragua. They were so close to seeing off 2024 with a perfect ending. They have one more game to go aside from our game, and had they drew last night match and win their upcoming match, that would have been a wonderful ending for them. They came into last night's game on a 5-game unbeaten streak. Last time they when they kicked off their year in terms of their football calendar, I believe it was around March, and they started things off on a bad note, losing to Peru and also Cuba, and then from there subsequently they've been unbeaten. But thankfully the Reggae Boyz went and got the job done on last night's occasion. Again, my only real gripe is the fact that I don't think we have a midfield presence. Don't shoot the messenger. That's not to say that I don't like what I saw from midfield last night. I'm just saying if I was to pick something out that I think needs to be a work in progress or is a work in progress, I think it definitely has to be the midfield. The midfield is the clear one that stands out for me. And you know what? Credit to the guys. We have so many names missing from tonight's occasion, from last night's occasion, and it was not a problem. And that's what you want to see with the team that's coming ever so often, chop and change. You want to make sure that, you know, if you have to work with an alternative plan, whether it's your plan B or your plan C, I think your plan B should be equally as good as your plan A. I think the players who come off the bench are equally or maybe even more important than the players that start the game, because they can take you home and dry, or they can leave you out in the rain where it's pissing down and you're made to look like a fool. So yes, whoever is coming in, I think they need to fit like a glove at a crime scene. And so far, as I said, I don't really have much to complain about, but I do think we definitely need to work on that midfield. Obviously, other areas of the field of play as well, but the most potent one, I believe, is the midfield. Somehow, I did say I was going to keep it short for you guys, and I've managed to wrap up all that I wanted to say in less than 50 minutes. So now I'm going to just steadily turn my attention to the comment section. Don't worry, it's Friday. I'm not leaving you just yet. So let's see what you guys are saying there in the comment section. I'm wary. I don't want to click on what I've already clicked on. Box cover, good night to yourself. I hope you are well. So both Antonio and Palmer got knocks in practice, to be expected. Welcome Mason Holgate. Mason Holgate also made his debut there in the second 45. I believe he came on for Joel Latibode. Well, the coach said if you don't work, you will be on the outside looking in. Good. Yes, plus the game start in the late night, so it's cooler. Pinnock look at the end silent. I think that's what Warren is saying. Playing on a surface like that, it can cause injury. And you know what? I am pretty sure that Brentford had their hands in their mouth. They must have been bricking it last night when they saw their big man down on the turf. Thankfully, he was able to play on. We learn to play around the ball. I like that. It will build up their confidence. 100%. Mr. Yee, greetings, Talawa Crystal, Talawa TV. Big up yourself. I hope you're in good health. They just losing the ball way too early and easy. That's the big issue. That's from Dosrel. Did I pronounce your name right? If we can hold on to the ball under pressure. I don't really think we had much of a problem with containing or maintaining the ball last night, to be honest with you. But hey, football is a game of opinions. I might look at something differently and you might think actually you're looking at it wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. We can always try to correct each other or help each other see things clearer. Latibade yellow was pure frustration with the poor officiating. Bobby Reid's reaction as well landed him in the referee's book, which I thought was comical, but it's totally understandable from Bobby Reid's perspective. Agree 100% on Bobby's performance. Spot on, Crystal. Yeah, I mean, you know what, Bobby Reid, he deserves his flowers. Bobby Reid deserves his flowers. It's so funny because when I was really doing my review and I'm thinking the two names that stood out to me, and I'm not trying to bypass the rest of the lads, but the two names that stood out to me was Bobby Reid and also Blakey. So at least we're on the same page there, guys. Warren Webster says Bobby Reid 8.5, Blake 9. Mr. Yee said Andre Blake, the best ever Jamaican goalkeeper. He is the GOAT up to this time. Boy, you know what? I am so glad that goalkeepers have a longer shelf life than outfield players. That's not to say I don't trust the younger keepers coming up, but I wouldn't like to see Andre Blake hang up his international boots anytime soon. Right now, Bobby looked good down the left side. That is from a New Media 876. Big up yourself, New Media. Blake save, no joke. Blake was outstanding last night. A toy golden, big up Talawa and continue to keep it real. Big up yourself. I hope you're in good health. Warren Webster says, why not? We have a good chance with 5 regulars out. We can go far in this tournament. And I think people need to understand that we have a handful of regular starting 11s out of the team. And we managed to pull off a performance where we never really had to go up a notch. Maybe that's me being biased. Again, correct me, wrote me in the comment section, but I don't think we had to take it up several notches last night. I don't think we had to shift gears last night, you know. We look cool, we look calm, and we got the job done. No added frustration, no little schoolboy errors which we've been guilty of in the past. Hopefully that's a thing of the past, but the boys did a mature performance last night, and it's not very often that we can say our boys have given us a mature performance, but they've done it, and it needs to be said, because when they give us these little piss poor performances, we're quite vocal about it. So when they do the opposite, I think we need to take time out of our day and say, you know, fair play. That is exactly what we were looking for. Warren Webster says, please smash the like button. Listen to the man, he knows what he's talking about. It doesn't cost you a penny. Hit the like button. TD says the midfield was big improvement from Tapa and Jaime. Make up yourself, TD. TD is clearly a Aston Villa fan. He's got Leon Bailey there. Pick up yourself, TD. Young Kings Entertainment, bless up. I hope you're in good health. TD, I hope you're in good health also. What you think about McGee, good or very good? Like or really like? Well, you know, I think I've already touched on McGee. As I said, he was part of the build-up, direct involvement in the build-up to the opening goal there. Although it went down as an own goal, who cares? If the opponents want to score multiple own goals, let them do that. And it just goes to show, you know, we really got into their head. We allowed them to hit that panic button, self-destruction, and they gifted us with a opening goal in front of their 12-man beautiful stadium. I wish I was inside that stadium last night, because that stadium to me gave me a lot of old school vibe. Bobby, bless up Jamrock Rentals. I hope that you are in good health. Conrad says the younger keepers them look good. We always have good keepers, and that's what you guys are saying there in the comment section. Let's go over to JFF. I think they're in the mix of promoting our upcoming game. So let's just swing over to their, sorry guys, swing over to their, what am I thinking of? My brain can't think. It's right in front of me. Twitter or X, however you guys want to call it. You should be able to read this one. It does say, do you want physical tickets? We're here to help. Tickets are available at JFF office. Jamaica versus Honduras, National Stadium, October 14th, kickoff time 8 p.m. So there you go. You can go ahead and get physical tickets there at the JFF office. They've got their PDQ. Oh, the PDQ is in working order, lads. The office hours here says, what does this say? It says Friday 9 to 5. Does that Saturday 6 to 10? I'm assuming, don't shoot me. I'm assuming this means Monday to Friday 9 to 5. So typical working hours. Because they wouldn't just be open on Fridays, and they wouldn't just be selling tickets on Fridays. Although I don't know, but I don't think that's how they're doing it. So I think this is the office hours. I think is Monday to Friday 9 to 5. And on Saturday, it is 10 to 6. Or you could go online. It says here at jff.qapid.com and go ahead and get yourselves set for the National Stadium. Couple more bits. What's this in front of us? This right here. It says today's tidbits. Reggae Boyz edition. Romario Williams scored his 4th international goal for Jamaica. Jamaica are now 9 games unbeaten in away group stage games in the Concacaf Nations League. Guyana, Aruba, Antigua and Barbuda, Suriname, Mexico, Grenada, Haiti, Honduras, and Nicaragua. And it also says back-to-back wins on Central American soil for the first time in our history. Jamaica has now scored 60 goals in Concacaf Nations League history. Good bit of some facts there shared by the Jamaica Football Federation. I do love the backdrop there, guys. Bit of equality. Long may it continue. Definitely liking that. Whoever put this together, you've done a wonderful job. And that is how we are looking there where the Reggae Boys are concerned. Let me know if there's anything that you guys want me to touch on. I'm not in any rush, so if anyone wants to join me on screen, you are more than welcome to. Again, these days I'm hesitant. I hesitate to put the link in the comment section just because I don't know what people are going to come on here and say, and it gives me a bit of anxiety as well. So as long as you're not coming on here to say anything outrageous or disrespectful or inappropriate, you're more than welcome to join me on screen. No problem at all. Let's go and leave it on the stats for you guys as it was before. And let me go ahead and see what you guys are saying there in the comment section. I do hope you've hit the like button. I think he should be in the squad from now on. I think he's probably talking about McGee, Conrad, but I can't speak for Conrad, so maybe he can clear that up. He says there's space for him. Okay, Empress, your honest opinion, I think is a average performance, but let's see. And you know what? You might be right. You could be right, but I think is that not an illustration of how poorly we were in the past? If the fact I have touched on the fact that we're doing the basics. So I think maybe you might have missed that because it was in the early half of my live stream, at the start of my live stream, where I touched on the fact that we're now doing the basics. So I can't necessarily argue with you. I can see why you would think it's an average performance. But as I said, you know, aside from tonight, I'm kind of struggling to think back where I could look at the team and say we actually look like a team. I can only go with how I'm feeling, you know, but no, football is a difference of opinions, a game of opinions. So I'm welcome to listen to anything that you guys have to say in the comment section. Devon Porter says, I think Jamaica played a disciplined game last night. Also, we have lots of room for growth with a new, more key additions. I promise help is on the way. I'm going to stick a pin in it and talk to my brethren. I haven't seen him in a while. I feel like it's been some 2+ years. So Webster.
Okay, you hear me? You hear me, Claire?
I can hear your back.
Let me turn off. I'm watching a football game. Hold on.
It's okay. Take it.
I can't find my control. I'll move from my TV room for a bit. Go somewhere else.
Fine. Take your time. Take
All
your
right.
time. All right, guys. Let's allow Webster to sort himself out there. Don't worry, Webster. Mr. Warren Webster, we can't hear you. I muted your mic, so you can take as long as you need to. No problem. Eagle Republic, I hope you're in good health. Good night, sir. And Warren, let's leave Warren's comment on the screen for the time being. Yes, Mr. Webster.
Hey, Crystal, how are you?
It's not very often that when you put a Arsenal and a Tottenham fan on screen and they look well together. So you know, fair play.
Yes. It's, like from the top, explaining what Thanksgiving is. It's way back when the pilgrims were coming to North America. They would give thanks for their arrival and so on. But in a later date, it's basically, you know, your work, you know, the farmers thanking for crops and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, so nice.
So that's what Thanksgiving is all about, you know. Gratitude is a must, kind of thing. So
okay, I like
it's just giving thanks for the year's labor, in no matter what you do. So it's a long weekend for us. So I'm off on Monday, and I was off today. So I got some rest.
I know you're a hard worker. I just think it's naturally in our DNA. So with Thanksgiving in mind, I pray to God that you live to see many more Thanksgivings with your loved ones. And as I say, I can tell that you're a hard worker, so you deserve to put your feet up.
Yeah, definitely. As a girl dad, the father of three daughters, and it
You're a
it
girl
was it
dad.
was it was necessary. Yes, I have three daughters. Yes, yeah.
I can
So
kind of
so
tell that you're a girl dad. I can kind of tell that you're a girl dad. So that's good to know, Warren.
yeah. So I actually actually heading out of town. I'm just waiting on my one of my daughters. I'm not driving, so I'm feeling good. I'll be chauffeur driven, so
Oh,
they'll be
bless.
and then
Oh, thank God.
we'll be heading out of town. My other daughter lives close to the Detroit border. It's like Windsor, Detroit. So
Yeah.
in Canada, it's a border town, right? With
Mm-hmm.
the so Motown. So basically, it's Windsor on the Canadian side and Detroit on the U.S. side. So
Okay.
we'll be making that trip. So she had to work later, so pick us up, and then we'll head out on the road a little later.
Okay, well,
S-
I hope you have a safe travel, and I hope that you make it to your destination and back home in good speed, you know?
Yeah. So when you basically in a household with as the only man,
Yeah.
you have to learn to wait on the ladies a little bit. So I'm
I'm
usually
not
in no
gonna say
rush.
whose side I'm on, but I think you know whose side I'm on. Okay, Mr. Webster?
I'm, I'm usually in no rush. Like I said, I took the day off. So whenever they're ready,
Yeah,
and I'm not driving, so I'll relax.
put your
You
feet
know.
up.
So that's good because I get a little chance to spend a little time with Talawa TV. While I wait for
It's
my
been a while. It's been a while. I feel like it's been some 2+ years since like we've shared a screen together.
yeah. So basically, kind of missing Mr. Mikey Ballin. I don't know. Have you spoke to him lately?
I spoke to when was the last time Mikey was actually on the show? Maybe I feel like some 2+, maybe 3 weeks ago. He was here on the show
Nice.
some 3 weeks ago. I think time flies, but
Uh,
I
for, s-
think that's how long it's been.
for some reason, I gotta make sure I click your I caught you today, but usually I don't. Even although I have the button clicked, sometimes I don't get your when you
Really?
come on. Yeah.
I
Notification and
think
stuff.
YouTube's doing me dirty then, clearly. Someone's trying to be an enemy of my progress. I might have to investigate who that is. But you're
Right,
here now,
right.
so
Yeah,
that's
but
the most.
let's talk football because that's a little bit about my personal stuff going on here. But enjoying the weekend and enjoyed the game last night. Stayed up for the game, although I had to 5 o'clock start this morning for work. But I just went in for a meeting or two, and I was out by say about 9 or 10, so I didn't really work. So
Mm,
that was good. I just I'm actually in hospitality, so
nice.
and long weekend. We just had a group in for for breakfast, so I went in, opened the place, and then got out of there. Anyway, so yes, a real good game, really good game. I appreciate the win. It wasn't the prettiest game I saw because I think when we played Cuba, we played one of the best possession games I have seen in a while. But
Mm,
this one seemed, for some reason, I wasn't worried in this one because it didn't seem like we would lose this one. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're watching the game and you got real nervous. I was just wondering when the
yeah.
next goal is coming. So I wasn't frazzled at all. Nicaragua coming in on a hot streak, but then buck up on
Yeah.
the Reggae Boys. So you know what happened?
Mhm.
Streak done, not true.
The bully met the bully.
The streak, we're in the streak, right? So
Yeah,
basically,
completely.
it's amazing what our potential can be, Crystal, with
Mm-hmm.
the amount of talent we have. It's just that we can't be scared, locally, to accept the talent because it makes our boys locally work a little harder to get on this team because our team, we should have enough talent to say, oh, if a Leon Bailey can't come in, we have no worries.
Absolutely.
We should have a next man up mentality. So no matter who goes down, we're not missing anything in terms of quality. So this is where we want to be at, and with our coach coming in with UK ties and with pedigree, I think is more respected in the UK in terms of the players, in terms of contacting them and making a decent run at potential talent instead of having them gone to England itself. But it's a good look. So Mason Holgate, we've been chasing for a while and finally accepted the call up. That's just a plus. So there's a lot to look forward to, and we have a lot of young players that have transitioned, to foreign teams. So let's see how their progress goes, and hopefully a Dixon and a Whisper can develop a little bit more, show their true talent, and make the side. Because I think we have a lot. I mean, Palmer is playing some of his best football, and
Yeah, with
he displayed it in the last window. I like the way he played the his role last window, and
yeah.
but Tyreek stepped in, got his chance, and this is what I want this to see the young people coming in. If you get a call up, right, don't take it for granted. Come in and show your value, right? Don't just be glad that I got a call up. When you get on the field, you give it 100%, because
Mm.
that's why I like what the coach said. Because the coach said, look, if you're not willing to run in his team, you ain't gonna be on his team much longer. So this is a good mindset in terms of when the players come on, they got to give that effort. If they're not giving that effort, stay home, man. Or just refuse to call up, because if you know you're not ready, just say you're not ready. Like
Yeah.
Bailey said he wasn't ready, because he was still recovering from his
Hold on.
injury, and so basically, if you're not ready, don't be scared to say, what, oh yes, I want to come, but that's not the idea. You want the best squad on the field who is fit to go. We don't we don't
100%.
want we don't want to carry you for just for numbers, right? You know what
100%.
I'm saying, Christelle? Yeah,
No, I
that's the way I
agree
look
with
at
you.
it.
I agree with you. Like you said a lot of things that I agree on. I guess I'll touch on the last point before I backtrack. Um I it's something that I've stated on my other live stream as well. Like I do command Boza when paraphrasing with regards to him saying, look, I'm just not ready. I know a couple of people had a few raised eyebrows because like how can you not be ready, and then you subsequently go, well, after the team announcement he went on to scoring a brace and was rewarded the man of the match for Spartak Moscow. But he knows his body best. And I think sometimes players have to save themselves from themselves, and it just goes to echoing what you've said. I've said it on other live streams. If you know you're not mentally ready for a call up, just say no thank you. Because if you are as good as you believe that you are, you should know that no one can take your position, that when you are fit and ready both mentally and physically, you're going to get another call up and you're going to remind people exactly of what they're missing. So I like what Boza did, and I want to see more of the Reggae Boys do it, and I also want to see some of the Reggae girls do it as well, because I think they should, especially where the Reggae girls are concerned, save yourself from brutal criticism. Because I'm not going to scapegoat no one, I'm not going to name no one, but clearly the eye test doesn't lie. You've seen over the years where a few Reggae girls, you're just like, oh, you should have just said no to the call up because you're just not ready for this, so hopefully we can see more of the same in the future.
Definitely, I agree 100%. Yeah, because that's my take too. It will serve the team better because you have players ready to go. It's no use if you believe, like you say, if you believe in your potential, if you believe in your talent, if you are not scared of competition, right? There's no reason why you can't be truthful to yourself. The toughest thing, because you know what, I know traveling to Jamaica is always a vibe, and a lot of people want to touch down on the
The
on the
heat.
rock itself. And
Yeah.
and every time I'm going home, I feel that anxiety and that,
Oh my
and
God, you experienced that as well. It's a little
yeah.
bit off track, but as somebody who's obviously you're my senior. I'm so glad that you touched on that. Obviously I'm not asking you to speak about your personal life, but I do enjoy talking about like well-being with my subscribers. Here in the UK, I was talking to a few of my friends, and already, and for context, these are guys who are in relationships, and I will explain the context. They're in relationships, they take holidays quite regularly, but even them as working men with their partners in their relationships, even they have are currently saying, we're talking, and they were like, we're definitely into seasonal depression already, and the winter hasn't even kicked in. So, as someone who's our senior, is that something that you guys experience like in Canada, where, when the weather changes, you start to feel a bit more anxious? Like, I'm not saying you're feeling depressed, but seasonal depression is a thing here in the UK, and it's a struggle sometimes.
Yeah, definitely, Crystal. Like, whenever I get out of that plane and I touch down in Jamaica, it feels like something just hugs me. I don't
Oh
know if
my God,
you
it's such a
experience that.
beautiful sentence.
You know,
I
it,
love
I,
that.
you,
I love
when
that.
it's like something just say welcome home. You know what I mean?
I
And
love that.
I think I don't know. A lot of people might share my passion and share that enthusiasm of
Mhm.
saying, oh yeah, I booked a trip, I'm going home. And
Yeah, no
it's
place
and
like home.
Jamaica is home. I lived there for my first 19 years of my life. That's what I know. So, and
Yeah,
I'm very like, it's Thanksgiving, so I'm very thankful, right,
yeah.
that I had the opportunity to grow up in the hills of St. Anne, 9 miles from Bob
That's why you
Marley's
like
birthplace.
Jody.
Yeah, well, yeah. I grew up in Brownstown.
Okay, I Jody
I
found
went
you
I
there.
went I went to York Castle High,
Mhm.
and then subsequently did tourism and hotel management there, but
Okay.
went into banking before
Oh,
I came to Canada.
I
But
like.
so basically is it's it's a thrill going home, right?
Mhm, mhm.
Just a flashback, for younger viewers, the euphoria of the '98 campaign, you know you know this is why I'm on YouTube. I just want to have that feeling again, guys. It was just awesome.
Yeah,
um just looking at the Jamaican team and that anthem played, and you're at the World Cup. Can you just imagine that, Crystal?
I know.
And you're probably too young for that, but I'm just saying the pride I felt as a Jamaican Canadian, or
Mhm,
it was just outstanding. I was taking my flag to work. My flag was on my car. This was the feeling. I mean, and then you play a team like Croatia,
mhm.
and did very well in the first half. They played an excellent first half, and then
Yeah.
subsequently lost the game in the second. But I'm just saying that that's the feeling I want. So don't think, I don't like when we put one player against the other player. It's just that,
Mm,
I feel we need to have a next man up mentality. And whether
100%.
whether whether you're born on the rock, or whether you're transformed because of your relatives, and you
Mhm,
want to welcome in your roots. These are our seeds of Jamaica, and we have to
mhm.
we have to treat people like our seeds. Let them feel welcome, because not often you're in a foreign country and you feel that welcoming. So as
100%.
as Jamaicans, we need to welcome anybody who wants to build something in our country, or help our country build and get some notoriety worldwide, on a worldwide stage, because in the end we all win, right? If the Reggae
Yeah.
Boys win, the federation wins. There's more money. It's possibly that they can spark development. More infrastructure. for football. There's so much things we can get. It will bring eyes to the country in terms of getting young talents out of the country, to
Yeah.
college or to professional leagues and so on. So there's a lot of gains we can do from giving. So let's not at this wonderful Thanksgiving juncture. Let's just give thanks. That we have the talent in the diaspora. Jamaicans have now outnumbered the numbers outside of the country than inside the country of
Mm.
Jamaican lineage and heritage. We have passed the numbers in terms of there's more Jamaican people of heritage outside of Jamaica than in Jamaica, right?
Mm.
So why not tap into every little source we can get to make our country better, so
Mm.
that's the way I look at it. And it's nice catching up with you, Crystal, but I gotta run. I hear some I hear some bickering in the back, like we're kind of ready to go. So but it
Okay.
was it was a it
You're a
was a
girl
good
then.
game. It was a good game. Bobby was outstanding. Blake did his thing, man. Blake
Yeah.
stand on his head, man. That guy. I mean, that player is outstanding. He's a good goaltender, and good to see he's using his feet more. He's a little
Yes.
bit
Like
confident. I think he's more confident because he has a decent backline. And when you have a Pinnock, anybody you put in there, even if you put a Bernard in there, or a Low in there or whatever, I think he has more confidence of his backline, so he's
yeah.
able to take a little more chances. Because at first he was scared. I think he was scared to give his defenders the ball, right? So, but
Yeah.
now it's not a problem. And I think we need to start the play a little bit more. And I think that will come in time in terms of ball possession and productivity in terms of moving the ball from each third, getting it to the right people, so we can put the ball in the net. So let's see what the transition will look like. And so far the coach haven't lost the game, so I have nothing bad to say about that. And he is looking at different players, and the fact that in the press conference he said that he watched 5 games from Nicaragua, so that means he was prepared, right? Before our coaches will say, "Oh, I don't know how they play," you know. So so, but the fact
Whatever.
that he sat down and he dissected 5 games from Nicaragua, that's saying that he's actually doing some kind of homework, right? So
Definitely.
let's cheer on the boys. Monday, I ordered my popcorn, and I think I'll have a red stripe or two, and just enjoy the game. So
I like
Crystal,
that.
big up yourself, and how's the weather up there now? It's getting a little cooler.
It's nippy. It's nippy.
Yeah.
My heater is on. I'm here like playing with the thermostat, turning it up, turning it down. It's
Uh,
nippy. We're in
well,
autumn, but it feels like winter.
is that a spider behind you? No, I'm just
What does
kidding. I'm
that
just
mean?
kidding. Just kidding. Just
My
kidding.
God, you got me.
Just kidding, Crystal.
Like,
Just kidding. To everybody in the chat, big up yourself. Gratitude is a must, and we'll giving thanks, right? So bless up on yourself and
pick up
have a
yourself.
wonderful weekend. And I guess we'll touch down again Monday. I'll probably pass
Yes,
through if you're on.
I would
All
love that.
right.
I would love enjoy the rest of your evening with your girls and travel safe and enjoy the food. Eat for both of us and drink for both of us as well.
Yeah, I've been eating too much, Crystal, so I need to take off some weight. No, but don't say that. Don't say that. All
All
right.
right, all right, all right. I
All
take
right.
it back.
Okay.
Thank
Take
you,
take
Warren. Thank
take
you, Mr.
care.
Webb.
Take care. All
Bye
right. Bye
bye.
bye. Bye.
Yes, guys, that is Mr. Warren Webster. I haven't seen him on here in a while, so it's nice to have him join us. How do I put myself back up on the screen? Oh, there we go. What am I talking about? I'm already on the screen. Oh my God. So yeah, Warren knows that I absolutely hate spiders. And I believe them because the other day there was a massive spider in my kitchen and I had to deal with it. Oh God, I do hate spiders. Guys, I think we're pretty much covered quite a lot tonight in terms of the review. As I said, I didn't really have much to say in terms of length other than what I've already stated. I'm hoping that the players who weren't part of the this what do you want to call it, this international break, I hope that they are looking at what's going on and just using it as added motivation, and looking and saying, next time that I play for my national team, it's going to be my best performance ever, because the spot that some or one might think belongs to them, it may not be the case. And it's good to see again that we have a number of high profile players unavailable due to a number of reasons, be it injuries, personal reasons, club availability, and so on, searching for a new club. It's good to see that even with those players out, that we're able to go out there and get the job done. And yes, context is always key with everything. Comment here that says people keep forgetting it was an inferior team. I think we also have to just remind ourselves that we can only play what's in front of us. Yes, I did say at the start of the live stream, I'm not going to get too ahead of myself. I'm not going to get carried away. But I think for what it's worth, in most parts, it is definitely to give the lads their flowers, because we're so used to having a go at them and being like extremely negative that when it's time to be positive, I think why not? It's not going to hurt us in doing so. I don't know if you guys have anything else in the comment section there that you guys want to talk about. I guess I could give myself another, let's say, 2 minutes, unless you guys have something that you guys want us to discuss. If not, I will be shortly closing off on my live stream. Before I do that, let's see if I can bring something else up for you guys. Let's see. Let us see. Just bear with me, guys. One moment. One moment. Got a toothache. Don't really know why, but I seem to have a little toothache. So Right Night, I'm pretty sure Right Night asked about the Reggae Girls. I don't usually mix the two on international breaks. So if the Reggae Girls are playing, I don't really focus on the Reggae Boys at club level. But I guess this was an important game. I did ask if I was going to talk about the Reggae Girl, Manchester City versus Barcelona. Straight away, I know that he was referring to women's football. And this fixture here was a midweek fixture played on the 9th of October. The headline, or I should say the results does read for itself, 2-0 Manchester City. And it was a much needed result there. The most important one that you guys want to cast your eyes on is Khadija Bunny Shaw netting a goal inside the 77th minute. And it was a very good watch if you support Bunny and Manchester City. Obviously, Barcelona, for context, they are the current reigning champions in the UEFA Women's Champions League. And so it's quite massive to see Manchester City beating them 2 goals to the good. And this is in the group stage. I have already stated, as it relates to Manchester City, that I do believe that they're going to go on to winning the WSL, Women's Super League, top tier of women's football in England. And then I'll see, I think they may even pick up possibly either the League Cup or the FA Cup as well, along their quest for some silverware this season. Be interesting to see what will happen where the English clubs are concerned in the Champions League. Naturally, I'm sure Manchester City and the likes of Chelsea will be going for the Champions League. I really know about Arsenal. Arsenal aren't really it for me at the moment. I think Arsenal have a lot of work that they need to do. They definitely, as a black woman, I don't think they represent me at the moment with the makeup of their squad. It does for me lack diversity, and I think it's an issue that they need to address. You know, a lot of black girls, black boys grew up supporting Arsenal because of their natural representation, that natural attraction. Nowadays, it's not like that. It does feel like a team that I just cannot relate to. Saying that to say, I do still wish them all the very best of luck. But yeah, I'm not really a follower of the Arsenal women's team. And that's pretty much all that I have to say. I will be closing off now, guys, because it doesn't seem like you guys have any comments there in the comments section. Before I forget my manners, massive thank you to Warren Webster for popping on. And I think that chat went well. I do not mind. I don't mind having you guys come and join me on the live stream, so long as you just keep it respectful. I've had to reiterate this a number of times. So yeah, as long as you keep it respectful and you don't go against the values of my platform, then I'm more than welcome to sit here with you guys. We don't have to always agree. We don't have to ever agree on whatever the topic is being discussed, but definitely keep it professional, and let's try to be respectful to each other wherever possible. And I should think that's the bare minimum, so it should always be possible to do so. And I think for me, that is it. I've almost been speaking at you guys for almost 1 hour and 30 minutes, and I'm going to be closing off. Is there any football there that I could tell you guys about? Let's see, Concacaf Nations League. Let's see if anyone's playing. Maybe you guys fancy some football. Okay, so I'll share this on screen with you guys before I sign off. I might have to go gargle some salt water because my tooth hurts. You'll be able to see this one on the screen right there in front of you. Aruba and Haiti. Haiti are leading 2-1. And it looks like St. Martin and St. Lucia. St. Martin leading St. Lucia 1 goal to the good. Both of those games clearly kicked off at the same time. So if you guys want to head over, depending on your location, possibly Concacaf YouTube channel showing these two games here. If you guys fancy some Friday night football, then there's your two option. Guyana and Guatemala, they are kicking off in about 20 minutes time. So you have a selection of 3 games there to keep you company to unwind on your Friday evening. If you are making it heading home, I do hope that you make it home safe and unharmed. If you're new to the channel, I do hope that you've done the decent thing and hit the subscribe button. If you haven't hit the like button, I'm not sure what you're waiting on. Please do go ahead and hit the like button. It does not cost you a penny. As I always say, thank you so much, guys, for your support. I guess I could also give you guys a little reminder, because I love you guys so much and I find it hard to pull away from you all. Give you guys a little reminder as to where we're standing there in League A, Group B. We are out on top, 3 games played across the board there in League A, Group B. Jamaica sit the top of the pile, 7 points in our back pocket, closely followed by Honduras on 6 points. Nicaragua sit in third. They are on 4 points, and they are followed by Cuba on 3 points. Trinidad and Tobago on 2 points, and French Guyana on 1 point. And that is how we currently stand. We do have a game coming up against Honduras on Monday. I am slowly losing my voice, so that is a cue for me to close off and try to, I would say, enjoy the rest of my Friday night, but it's now Friday morning. It's almost 2 a.m. So I'm going to try and see if I can numb this pain in my mouth. I'm not expecting to do a live stream on Saturday. I think the next time I do a live stream with you guys will be on Sunday. So do keep your eyes peeled for that. If you have not hit the notification bell, do hit the notification bell. As Warren Webster said, someone is the enemy of progress for me. They're not alerting you guys when I'm going live. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's an algorithm thing. But nevertheless, do keep your eyes peeled on my community tab and also on my channel itself. And as I always say, guys, until next time, take care.
I'm John Barnes, and you're watching Talawa TV with Crystal Davis.